When we started with chapter 1, we stood beside Arjuna as he dropped his bow in despair. Now, after 17 chapters, we arrive at the final conversation. The last teaching, the last guidance, the last words Krishna speaks before the war begins. Let's read it slowly, not as the end of a book, but as the completion of a journey. Chapter 18, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the yoga of liberation through renunciation. The battlefield is exactly as it was. The armies are waiting. The wind blows across Kurukshetra. Nothing outside has changed. Yet inside Arjuna, everything has. Krishna has answered countless questions. He has spoken of duty, knowledge, action, meditation, devotion, the self, nature, faith, character. Now, he gathers every teaching into one final chapter. Arjuna asks one last question. Krishna, tell me once more, what is true renunciation? What does it really mean to let go? Krishna smiles because he knows many people misunderstand renunciation. Some think it means leaving the world, giving up responsibilities, walking away from life. Krishna gently says, no, Arjuna. True renunciation is not giving up action, it is giving up attachment to the fruits of action. A person still works, still loves, still serves, still fulfills responsibilities, but they stop believing my peace depends entirely on the outcome. Everyone must act. Krishna reminds Arjuna no one can remain without action. Even choosing not to act is itself an action. The question is never, will I act? The real question is, with what attitude will I act? Why people act? Krishna explains that every action has many causes: our body, our mind, our abilities, our circumstances, the efforts we make, and factors beyond our control. Therefore, no one should become excessively proud when things succeed, nor completely destroyed when they fail, because life is never shaped by one factor alone: knowledge, action, and the doer. Krishna again speaks about the three gunas. Knowledge can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Action can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Even the person performing the action can be influenced by these qualities. Arjuna realizes something beautiful. Krishna has never been asking him to become perfect. He has been teaching him to become aware. Everyone has their own path. Then Krishna says something timeless. It is better to perform your own duty imperfectly than someone else's perfectly. A lotus cannot become a rose. A rose cannot become a mango tree. Each has its own nature. Each has its own purpose. Krishna reminds Arjuna, you were not born to imitate another person's life. You were born to live your own, the highest devotion. As the conversation nears its end, Krishna's voice becomes even softer. He says, fix your mind on me, love me, trust me, offer your actions to me, take refuge in me. These are not commands, they are invitations. Then comes one of the most famous verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, abandon all limited notions of duty and take refuge in me alone. I shall free you from all sorrow. Do not be afraid. Not because Arjuna has become perfect, not because he has earned it, but because divine grace is always available to the sincere heart. Krishna stops speaking. Silence fills the battlefield. For the first time in 18 chapters, Krishna says nothing. Now he turns to Arjuna and asks, have you listened with a focused mind? Has your confusion disappeared? Everything becomes still. Arjuna looks at Krishna, the same Krishna who had been his friend, his charioteer, his guide, his teacher. Then Arjuna smiles, not because the bar has disappeared, not because life has become easy, but because his confusion has ended. He says, my delusion is gone. My memory has returned. I stand free from doubt. I will act according to your guidance. He picks up his bow, the same bow he had dropped in chapter 1. But this time, his hands no longer tremble. Not because he knows he will win, but because he finally knows why he must fight. Sanjaya's final words. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't end with Krishna. It ends with Sanjaya, the narrator, speaking to King Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya says, whenever I remember this sacred conversation, my heart fills with wonder. Then he speaks the final verse of Bhagavad Gita. Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the sincere seeker, there will surely be righteousness, victory, prosperity, and lasting peace. And with those words, the conversation ends, the war begins. Chapter 18. When confusion ends, walk your path with courage, surrender, and trust. I just want to pause for one moment, not to stop the journey, but to appreciate how far we have come through these chapters. Do you remember chapter 1? Arjuna couldn't even stand. He wanted to run away from his battle. Now look at chapter 18. The battlefield hasn't disappeared. His challenges haven't disappeared, but he has changed. That, to me, is the true ending of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna never promised Arjuna a life without battles. He gave him something even greater, a way to stand in the middle of life's battles without losing himself. And I have a feeling I may not control every battle I face, but I now know how I want to walk through it. What a beautiful journey this has been.